but he already global banned Mina. He already tried to target Angel Boy's hero pool, brawler pool, and then he just develops another problem for you. This guy can't be banned out, and apparently even the chest is not enough to answer him.
Not at all. Well, and it comes down to the geography of this map. Look at this final moment here. Foot Esports got it down to 8%. It dropped to 1 with another double-pronged push from Humble. And even he can't believe it.
That's a truly ridiculous situation. It's all instinct from our players on stage at that point. And Angel Boys is just that little bit sharper. And hey, I'm not complaining. We've tied up the series now. Let's have a look at our stats after the game. 393 DPS and 13 eliminations from Angel Boy. Nod, though, sneakily, again, quietly, just dominating.
Pretty much just on the sidelines, winning the individual lanes, making things a nightmare for Chester. All kinds of things can go awry in the draft. Another geography-dependent map coming up. It's Super Beach here on Brawl Ball. It's all about that mid. And can you win? The flanks are important. It's where all the plays are made. That is where you reconnect and wrap around with your mid to get a ball across the line.
This map from Humble has been pretty absurd. Their scrims on this, they've lost like 1 set in the last week on Super Beach. It's crazy. However, there's a lot of overlap between these two teams' preferred styles. Let's have a look at the bans here. I think they're quite telling. Willow's going to be first picked here. First picked. Crow, Naja, Colette banned out. Shade, Griff, and Stu on that foot side.
All smart. All things that can completely undo what you want as a last pick. Also, just all very Willow bans, basically. They wanted this Willow first. Willow hasn't been a first pick on Brawl Ball in a hot minute, like I would say several months, so I can see why it flew under the radar, why it wasn't a top priority. Also, just look at what Humble are going for. Notches wide open. You can't let Colette through. Crow's going to dominate the mid, so you don't want to face that the entire time. Now it's about anti-tanks, but you have to address the elephant in the draft. This Willow cannot go ignored.
How do you pressure that position down? Willow not the longest range thrower, not the highest damage thrower either.
Better thrower.
Yeah, but a super that threatens to just take the game away. Ruffs is also open, so that's someone who can break over the map a little bit. We can go back to Edgar Land. Chester here. Okay, so we're going to see Humble not want to try and tip their hand too much here, but there's actually a ton of different options. You're right, though. They need to find something that can pressure this Willow. With Shade taken away and also Stu, something else needs to close the gap for you. Now, Mortis has been banned, as has Mina. Lumi's been a go-to for Humble on this map. I think they're all good on control brawlers for the time being.
Yeah, they have exactly what they need. They can really just have Otis play mid here. They're saving that last pick for their aggro. Maybe something that can break walls. So they know that Willow's going to have pretty much the strongest CC in the game. You have the mind control. Another brawler that has strong CC, so Foot are opening up for possibly something aggressive in the last one, or maybe they just decide to take the same approach as Humble and counter every possible tank and win on skill alone.
Pick Edgar, you won't. Do it again.
Into the Otis, into a mute, and into a possible stun from Chester.
Hey, oh, Chester wasn't quite enough on that previous map, but you know, Kenji's also available. Like, they are trying to play anti-tank here by bringing the Charlie in. What's it going to be? Oh, for BB!
Triple T would be proud. Swings that bat around, and she's got a whole lot of healing as well. But do you really trust in her ability to walk in a straight line into these anti-tanks? I feel like there is stuff that could deal with the BB. You could go Bull here. Very much so. It would be a pretty classic reaction to the BB. Remember when BB was meta earlier this year? Yep. Bull getting buffed up was enough to take her down a notch.
Yes, here we go.
Heals for heals. BB is just made of a whole lot of HP. Doesn't matter that she heals up with her gadget because Edgar has really, really fast reload speed. He should be able to win that war of attrition. The Brawl Stars is a team game. If anyone knows how to play it, it's Humble. Foot Esports have found some commonality. They found good comms, found some synergy over the past several days. It hasn't even been a week since they joined forces with Lina.
I mean, it's kind of insane. I think it speaks volumes about EMEA that a free agent of the caliber of Lina just happens to be floating around conveniently within reach to fold into the roster. Let's see how this plays out. The displacement of the BB is going to be important. Look how much space Angel Boy's already made. Semantic, though, knows what his job is. Go after the Willow early and often.
Lana now getting pressured by Semantic. I guess Edgar's just different. Semantic wants to walk this through, but Angel Boy has the knockback, but not soon enough. Semantic slots it right on through.
Devastating. It's such a simple game plan here for Humble. Find out where Willow is and go in that direction. Gotta respect the displacement here of Angel Boy, but Luke, he had that anti-tank potential. Nope, Super was popped there, but it doesn't really seem to have gotten much effect. Yeah, Cocoon on the Edgar, fine. But mid-control, he's definitely in the hands of Humble.
The Cocoon is clearly not enough to deal with the Edgar. He was a difference maker in the last set. He's shaping up to be the one this set too. Angel Boy marches forward on the right side. Muted, but only temporarily. Can still fend off Semantic, but he's in a 1v2. Can't even get a single swing off. Still waiting to see some greatness from Nob to move Semantic away. But Semantic, when he jumps in, is going to go for Lana first. Gets that Cocoon. No assistance from the team just yet. Has a Hypercharge, and look at the range that the Hypercharge gives you.
And Nob tries to dive there, but that gadget is not going to be enough to keep him alive. Angel Boy goes for a swing. Boss respects the BB, as does Loki. Just poke Angel Boy down. This is such a hard brawler to play in this spot.
Here comes Angel Boy once again, but it's only a trade in the mind control onto Semantic. All it's going to do is waste some shots. That was not a very good super. Nob wishes he had it now as he gets pinched between Boss and Semantic. Hypercharge.
Cocoon.
But a stellar defense on that Cocoon to keep Humble from a potential goal.
That could have been game over there. There's the gas cloud on Angel Boy though. It's going to be annoying. It's going to take much longer for the BB to be fighting fit again. Nob here across the map. Semantic doesn't connect with the scarf, and Angel Boy's able to knock the Edgar away. For now.
Semantic again. Nob's going to dive. He's going to be ready as soon as he comes out from underground. But here's a Hypercharge from Angel Boy. Too hasty by far. Can't get any kills off of that. Just a single swing to put Luki down to half HP. A successful Cocoon for Lana on the left side, but he cannot afford to pressure. Hypercharge in from Semantic. Rapidly changes course. Goes now for Willow, who has the Hypercharge. Just going to use the ordinary super. But Humble are up by 1 goal right now. Impossible at this rate for Foot Esports to bring this back. Nob's going to try and be the hero. Hypercharge style. A tip off to Lana. Luki also ready to intercept things at the goal line. 2 seconds to go. And no ankle break before Lana.
Nice try. Not quite close enough there for Lana. Oh, yeah, a bit more of a competitive later round there. But we're able to see what the Edgar can do. Continue to jump and jump. There's Cocoon being used. There's the dive gadget. There's the BB knockback. Every brawler on Foot's side has something to answer this dive, and yeah, it's still not quite enough. Because then you've got to account for, I don't know, the small issue of the Chester and the Otis going to town on you.
BB, apparently not in the math. Angel was still going to go for it, though. Wants the hit with that gadget. Gets a bit of healing.
Oh my God,
fantastic with the team wipe. Who even needs help? 19 seconds in, Edgar already puts it through.
Super cool star power, Edgar. Main's big fan of that one. Just unkillable, Semantic. Getting health back for the damage that he does. That was nice. 9 control there on Semantic just to keep him at bay. But he'll be ready to fight soon enough. And now the Cocoon, that one didn't connect. It ran into the barrel. Still, Foot Esports, 1 play to the good. Now they're going to be able to catch up another player to Cocoon. Boss can't really defend this. Or can he? No, not a chance.
Had to be a super complicated execution for Foot, however. All of the stars had to align. They needed all of their cooldowns ready. The most important one was Lana getting that Cocoon in an aggressive position rather than a reaction to Semantic jumping on him. They found Semantic first. It was the mind control that helped them do it. Hypercharge in for Semantic. Gets one. Whoa, a little weird on the jump there. Angel Boy still alive. Can't clear the ball. Luki walks it through. A second set for Humble.
So at this point, I think it's pretty clear that it's not possible to ban all the problematic brawlers right now.
No.
Whether it's Semantic or Angel Boy, there's a player that's going to be threatening to take over the game. You just have to be that much more impactful. This is gross. The first pick, Willow, is just... it represents Foot begging Humble to do something about it, and they have an answer, cooked to perfection and ready to serve.
Foot Esports did get a single goal off the backs of a Willow play. They got a mind control, and Humble just didn't really know how to respond. It was really, really messy how they played into it. Foot Esports also just had their other super abilities ready in reserve. But the Willow was repeatedly battered by Edgar throughout the set. Look at the stats here for Semantic. 11 kills. That's a lot on Nob, a bunch on Angel Boy as well, who only has one knockback to work with. Takes a wind-up as well. That leaves room for Semantic to anticipate it and use one of his movement abilities to jump to the sky temporarily.
Now, you might be forgiven for thinking this is just a hyped-up, grandiose monthly final, because these two teams played each other in March and it went to 5 sets. It was a double match point scenario that Humble just managed to squeak out. That was with Guesty on the lineup. But with Lina, Foot Esports have found a way to be just as impactful. The question is, can they do more here and now as we head over to Double Swoosh?
Coming back to what you said earlier, where it's just impossible to get rid of all of the problematic brawlers, I think this really plays to Lina's strengths, where he has a limited brawler pool. That's fine, as long as he can play the top few brawlers, then that's good enough. It's what everything revolves around at the moment. They have a last pick in reserve to hand off to the tank and aggro specialist. Humble already gearing up, and M's first pick here on Double Swoosh, I think speaks volumes about what they anticipate. Mortis, brawlers that close in close range that would normally deal way too much damage to Ems and just be an issue up close, have been locked away. They've also banned Sandy, not so much of an issue for an Ems, but Ems is going to be great at pressuring these bushes with the speed here.
Boss in the past, a notorious Mo player. This is pretty wide open for Lily. See how impactful that she can be, and yep, it's going to be snapped up straight away by Foot.
It's pretty much a game of find the enemy gym carrier and then isolate it with Lily. Run Lily into the enemy side, get her supercharged. You can die a few times. Just, don't die too much. Otherwise, your team is going to be pressured out of those bushes. Then there's no entry back in.
Do you hope that Ruffs is left up in the draft? Just to try and feed that hypercharge to your Lily to basically guarantee your ability to get that dive?
Yeah, she's a total hypercharge brawler. With the hypercharge, Lily's super is going to become practically undodgeable, so you just have to have good enough aim help. You can auto-aim it if you want. So we'll see if that's the approach that they take. Ruff's wide open.
The kid is diabolical here. I love this.
Yeah, I go Humble.
Combo with the M's, also with hype, can become unkillable.
So the M's kid tried by Humble and Scrims this week. Actually lost that set. Okay, this is interesting. Spawner picked up. This is pretty oppressive control that you can exert now. Obviously, M's very good at scouting out those bushes, getting info, having a spawner here as well just to bully some of these sync shot brawlers off the map.
One of Nita's strengths is her ability to wall peek. With Lily reliably hiding behind the indestructible walls, Nita should be able to help pinch there and profit the most. It takes her only 5 shots to get a bear. It's going to force Lily all the way back. It's going to force Mo all the way back. Nothing so far that's particularly great dealing with the bear. Janet's not going to be much better. But they need Janet. They need something that can react to a kid jumping in.
I like this. Very safe mid. Pretty reasonable to leave it until last. You have a safe mid and a way to make your opponent's mid feel particularly unsafe. Being able to dive away, I think, from the kit jump is going to be very, very important. I like this Foot draft a lot. And you know what? Just as well, because they are on the precipice of giving up this Brawl Cup final to Humble. 2-1 is the series score, and Humble are hungry for more glory, hungry for another Brawl Cup, and hungry for another brick in their wall, a campaign for another World Championship in 26.
Here come the lanes. Whoa, they didn't think Angel Boy was going to run right up mid because Scrims does that at this level of play. He's in hot pursuit of Lukey, running all the way to the back lines, but couldn't get the second shot off in time.
And that's why M's mid is kind of playable here. You get dove, you can use that indestructible wall to get the guaranteed stun off your buffied gadget.
And Angel Boy has the super as a result of his efforts, boss, with an immediate reaction of the Nita Bear and a couple more shots of supercharge his way. Exactly in position where he wants to be. Nob on the right side, getting pressured slowly by Semantic. He's just keeping a visual on this brawler, threatening to dive a gem carrier. It's non-existent gem carrier either. Angel Boy forced into the Shadow Realm. He's not going to be exposed as he goes backwards. Lukey with a push away and all the support to stay alive. Nob wants to use the super to get over, just gonna have to pull the trigger and go for it. Boss also pressured. Death from above in the hands of Lina. And Foot Esports, despite having all the gems in their hands, can't really confidently push back into this bush.
Semantic's going after Nob here. A couple hits and that super's going to be developed. He gets the gems dropped and now combines with Lukey. But Lukey's taken into the Shadow Realm. Semantic now has to fend for himself, and Angel Boy gets the horde of gems spilt.
One more gem is all that they need. Nob can play a forward position. Lina also. But they're going to give number 10 to Angel Boy. Humble's got to do this in only a few seconds, otherwise Angel Boy's going to vanish into the Shadow Realm. 10 seconds to go. Nob with a hypercharge. Looks for one or two, but can't get either. Semantic with a jump, and Angel Boy wasn't ready. Should be getting the interruption, but no! What? They can't kill him in time, and Funny Sports hang on.
Just like Heist, that was a matter of mere seconds. But the gadget's up for Angel Boy to duck into the Shadow Realm and make sure that countdown is completed. That's a frustrating result there for Humble. But it's pretty clear to see that it's tricky for the comp to play into this.
Different rollout for Angel Boy this time. He knows that the same old trick isn't going to work a second time, and Boss was ready for the vanish into mid. To reposition Boss. Semantic with a sneaky push over towards the top side. Fit Esports also created space so as to not feed him his super instantly. Angel Boy is going to go for the push in. Can't get one on Semantic, looks for another onto Boss. 2 more shots will do it, and there's a super. Yeah, was hestant about whether he would go for it. Also going to go for the gems, but with Semantic respawning with a super that I don't think they anticipated, he will exchange.
Semantic at least able to keep the gems on the side of Humble, but Foot Esports have been able to double their total so far. Lina has been extremely solid as a mid in this game, always being ready to use that gadget to escape. But Angel Boy's unsuccessful on the dive. Semantic won't have any follow-up here though, so tough to go after the Janet, especially if she has super in hand.
She's going to come crashing back down to earth this time without a super on the right side. Boss narrowly wins the interaction. Has to retreat into this bush. Angel Boy has that hypercharge, and now he's been discovered. All of Humble knows he's here. Semantic gets a dip on the right side, stays alive. But Esports could get possession of the bushes if they want it. Nob, likewise, on the left side, pushing it. It's a hypercharge for Boss on the right side. But it's not going to do all that much. Angel Boy still has other plans. He just wants to find an enemy to sit inside of their radius, grab his super, then hypercharge and a theft of all the gems.
Boss is just taking over the game here. Look at him forcing Lina back into his spawn. And this puts Humble up to 9 gems. Here's the 10th. Semantics ready to run interference now as Angel Boy shows himself. Couple of slashes, warded off. 10 seconds left.
Nob in from the right side has no super. Lina's just going to go for it as much damage as he can. Angel Boy also has the hypercharge. So where's the connection? Lukey so far away. Angel Boy into the realm and no one to interrupt. As soon as it looked like Foot were in control, Humble advance on to match point.
It's kind of insane, the snowball effect that Nita can give you. Cycle a couple of supers and you're playing with 4 brawlers for a decent portion of the round. Lina was forced all the way back to the top of the map. He had to use his super to dodge a kit dive or to dodge being taken down by the aftermath. And that left Foot with very little to work with.
Angel was going to go for the gadget up mid this time. Boss was ready. Lukey also with a gadget away. Semantic with a victory on the right side also. Utter decimation of Foot Esports in the early game. Humble with full control. They just don't really have abilities to show for it. Boss would like to be further along onto his super. Also note the lane swap with Angel Boy on the right side. It's an instant success.
Worth spending the super on taking the pesty kit out of the equation. Now though, Angel Boy can be a menace from behind this wall and build yet another super. Here's the dive into the Shadow Realm he goes. Semantic there doesn't need to be attached to Lukey as Angel Boy is revealed, but Lukey's going to be on his own in a few seconds. Foot Esports content though to keep this map controlled and not press the issue.
Just keep that fight as forward as they can. Allow the gems to spawn behind them. Nob doesn't seem to believe in how much they can sustain, but Nob rings true on the left side. Angel Boy on the right, and Lukey continues to be pressured back into spawn.
5 plays 4, the gem total. Big long dive by Semantic goes after Nob, but no one's going to help him really. Angel Boy emerges, but Lukey has that super. And Boss is able to handle the Lily. This should get Humble back into the map, at least enough that Lukey can get to 5 gems.
Yeah, Boss can even just pop that hypercharge as is. Wants a visual on the enemy first. Semantic gonna get the initial interaction on the Nob, but it's no kill. Kind of weird, he was completely isolated. Now the hypercharge out, but it's only an exchange. Bruce Bear's gonna push Lina backwards. He was thinking about getting gem number 6, but this one heads to Lukey.
Honest word from Lukey, just picking up these gems as his teammates frankly int to make the space for him. Humble on the precipice here of victory in this set. Foot very close to taking us to a 5th and final. Angel Boy drops into the Shadow Realm now and is going to be looking for Lukey. Can Semantic intercept him? Yes! The hypercharge comes through. It's not going to be enough. Nob here putting pressure down. Humble, 8 gems and counting. Foot Esports have the map control though.
This was a go-ahead for Foot Esports to go for the enemy gem carrier, but everyone was in the perfect position. They expended all of their abilities, and there was nothing to do. Foot Esports now moving backwards. Semantic going to be the first one to pressure up on the right side, and here comes Bruce from Boss. Pushing alongside it into the corner. Lena forced to take to the sky, goes for the kill, and should retreat to safety. 5 seconds to go, but Lukey ties up the countdown.
Okay, it is going to be 10 apiece. Humble make their way back into the map, but Angel Boy has a hypercharge ready to roll. This would get Foot through to a set number 5 and a chance to threaten the throne. Boss will pressure the Lily down. Angel Boy has to use a gadget. That is that one gem that he's taken with him. Semantic big dive on the left. The gems are spilled.
Angel Boy is the last one, but missed hypercharge. It's 2 versus 3 and 10 seconds to go. Lukey retreating onto the right side. They need a savior from above. Lena is going to do everything he can, but the pins are in the air. Can you hear it? The voices calling your name. You're singing the praises of Brawl's gods.
Legacies are not built in a day. They're not built overnight. It's weeks, months, years of consistent excellence, commitment to victory. And we are witnessing that exact legacy being built right before our eyes. In front of a home crowd, the adoring EMEA fans, Humble will ascend to take their second consecutive Brawl Cup title. This team are here to do it all. And this year might once again be their year. We're going to head down to the stage, get some words from the champions alongside Barney Banks.
It's back-to-back for EMEA, and it is back-to-back for Team Humble! Wow, oh wow. What a phenomenal tournament. First and foremost, I would like to say we are joined on the main stage by Kenny himself to deliver you your medals. I would like to quickly tell you the importance of these medals right here. These are created by Thomas Light, who is a precious metal worker who's built some of the most iconic sports trophies of all time, like Wimbledon tennis, the Golden Boot. So look after these with your life and enjoy wearing them as well. Boss, how does it feel back to back on the main stage, taking out a formidable opponent?
It feels so fucking good. Everyone on Humble of supporting, we could hit you anyway, like it was fucking insane. I'm so happy about this, and even more my teammates that are from Germany, and we are in Germany, so congrats.
That's right, you should be proud. Semantic, not only back to back, like we're gonna say over and over again, but in front of a home crowd. Vielen Dank an alle Deutsche, wir haben's geschafft! Lukey, I'm not gonna forget about you, Lukey. In fact, I'm gonna do, yeah, come over here. I was gonna cross over. I tell you what, Lukey, you've been cold as ice this entire tournament. You've been laser focused. I've been watching you. It's been phenomenal to see you show up on the main stage once again. Tell me what's going through your mind right now and how that experience was on the main stage.
I mean, honestly, I was just trying to avoid the microphone because last time I said back-to-back, we're not gonna make it, but this time we did back-to-back, and we're the only team who actually won Brawl Cup twice now.
That is right, the only team to win the Brawl Cup back-to-back, and the only team to win a Brawl Cup full stop. Lukey, I'm going to get you to join your teammates over here because for one final time, Uber Eats Music Hall, Berlin, make some noise for your 2026 Brawl Cup champions. It's Humble! Ladies and gentlemen, what an event this has been. Thank you so much to all the players for competing so fiercely. Thank you to the production for putting on such a phenomenal event for both all of the fans at home and right here in the Uber Eats Music Hall in Berlin. Thank you to the talent for carrying this show and being so immensely hard working. But most of all, thank you so much to all of the fans for being the backbone of Brawl Stars esports. At the end of 2026, our World Finals will be taking place in Japan. And I tell you what, it's going to be an absolutely incredible showdown. You can better believe it. But for now, I will leave you in the capable hands of Team Humble right here on the main stage, having an elation moment, having an incredible time. Once again, thank you so much, and good night!
Dar fumble.